It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're reacting and having a discussion about a Q&A that was suggested by one of you guys. Which, shout out to you for actually creating this forum for everybody in the DBD website. And I'll try to link it if I can in the description, so if you guys want to actually join in on the discussion, you can do that. Shout out to Paragon, or in this instance a skeleton, but either way. Point being, shout out to you guys, and let's get into it. So I want to go ahead and just talk about a couple of different posts here. So one here is definitely, this one really stood out to me from Blood Raven. It said, honestly love the game, but getting a bit tired of the deck getting further stacked against the power roll. Gen speed's wildly out of control, second chance crutch perks in uncounterable situations, yet my killer's power is easily counterable. And what's worse is if this daft PTB goes to live, there is zero reward for the killer or to play the game how they apparently want us to play it. And this has been my perspective on the game as well. I completely agree with this idea here. The gen speeds have gone out of control. The second chances are all over the place. The uncounterable situations are numerous. Like, there are so many situations that you can face as a killer player that you just simply can't counter. Like, there's a lot of things that definitely do that. And it's unfortunate how common it is, but it's so true. It's so true. It's so accurate. So many times it's been like that. There's so many situations that I can think of. There could be situations where there's like 3 gens 99 and you need somebody out of the game, and you can either go for the person, but they can hide all game, and then if you fresh hook somebody, you're already down to 1 gen. So like, there's literally 0 point in even trying to go for that. And I mean, it just goes on and on. I would be here all day if I were to list everything. This one says it's boring. There's almost no word for improving. I have to play 20 matches on average until I'm challenged, unless I'm running some kind of meme build or purposely handicapping myself. The best strategies are all the same as they were when I started playing 8 years ago. 8 years of a single meta, horrifically boring, not even getting into a balanced discussion. The game actively punishes you for trying to avoid these strategies and continuously rewards you for using them, despite the fact that nobody likes to play against them. So, the only part I disagree with is here where it says killer is boring because of the lowest skill strategies, which have been meta for almost a decade. I can't say that that's like always the case. I can't say that's the lowest skill strategy. We have to kind of keep in mind here that DBD does not have like that level of like sort of macro, especially when it comes down to like lower MMR, average MMRs and things like that. And even from just describing that you're showing obviously Steve here, and you're playing 20 matches on average into your challenge, most likely means that you're at an MMR level that's pretty average. Because at least speaking for myself, from my own anecdotal perspective, I end up getting very tough matches just with the second I load in the game. Like, I get a rough match. And mind you, like, it's possibly, they possibly also play a pretty strong killer. If you really want a challenge, you can easily play Skull Merchant, Trapper, Ghostface, or any other characters at a high level, and you will notice how difficult the game really becomes. So I get it. I can't, but lack of challenge, I think just is just because you're probably not trying to win. But general burnout is relatable and understandable. That is 100% true. This person says that they haven't uninstalled, but they stopped playing killer. Unknown, and everyone has said he needs a buff. Yep, I've said that many times. Here's a good one. Limited mechanics or technical performance. I've noticed that recently. I can't even record gameplays on the PC version for you guys who do want to see me play the game. Inconsistent MMR. Yeah, you could say that to a degree. High dependency on RNG. Yes. Perk system is redundant. Potentially, but that's a lot of money that people invested, so it would be a bad move to just completely throw that away. They need to rework the perk system, give killers at least 8 perk slots, and reduce duplicate perks on Survivor. You might be on the right track. Lack of self-awareness from devs, screw data, and lack of trustworthiness is 100% accurate. Disrespect to non-casual players in the community, even if they are actually the type of players who keep consistent online engagement in media, which is so true. Catering to brain-dead style of play, which I would consider shift W, pre-dropping, like, you know, yada yada. Like, those are very brain-dead. Like, they don't really require much brain power to do. Let's see, scam instead of skins. Yeah. Limitations of DLCs and content in DLCs. Content is raw, lack of deep consideration is very true. Here goes another one. Insane survivor handholding. That's a good point. Remember when killers were supposed to be the power role in the game Dead and Dead by Daylight being the operative word? Now with updates by spreadsheet, devs who never play and don't understand the role of killer will have essentially a pallet break simulator for killers. Survivors run to a pallet, drop it, run 5 feet because they're genuinely that copious and are close to each other these days. Rinse and repeat. Very true. I mean, I really haven't seen anything that is I'm really like disagreeing with here. This is like I don't like, I would hope that somebody at Behavior will see this, because like this is breaking down like why a lot of people that were not even able to express themselves in the survey that they decided to conduct, and it's like it's like the players are being ignored here. As someone who doesn't tunnel, slugger, camp, who likes playing pig because the reverse bear traps give her a reason baked into her design not to tunnel, I've never known this game to be harder for my killer. Now, mind you, we have to also say that I can't say that it's designed to not tunnel. I will say that it actually makes tunneling better, but also pig is a low tier killer within this current like PTB, like I mean not the PTB, the current meta and all that other BS. Pallets everywhere, brilliant tiles. I can actually play my power because they leave tile hold W to the next time pallet every time I crouch. Always other pallet in reach. Very true. Yep. And every single mechanism of putting up a fight outside of stacking gen perks slowed the game down, and tunneling has become increasingly trash. And fighting my arse off every game just to get 4 hooks. I generally find Trapper easier because I can shut down the god pallets of chains eventually. And also probably because if you don't play a lot of Trapper, the MMR is a little easier. Gedowning Scrubs would definitely immediately feel whether Survivor is good or bad at the game, and trying to catch a good one is a fast track to embarrassment in so many maps that you're playing off meta and not playing uber sweaty. 100% accurate. I mean, yeah, like this game really does not give you anything for playing fun, playing, you know, in this way, and that's just because of the community, of course. Like we've all been leaning into optimization and trying to sort of maximize the stuff like that, because everybody wants to win the game. As much as people want to gaslight people in the DBD community and claim that they don't want to win, of course they do. Of course they do. That's why they bring windows of opportunity, decisive, off the record, dead hard, you know, made for this, hope, blah 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 blah. Like you can, every single perk that is meta, like that's why they bring it, because they want to win. Like if they weren't trying to win, they'd put on some goofball build that fulfills a really specific niche. Like you would see, like, oh, I'm gonna use red herring and pebble and make things explode because it's funny. Like I want to make a noise with stuff because it's funny. Like I want to go around and see if I get power struggle value by using plot twist because it's funny, or something like that, or something of that nature, like something that's not on meta. But they don't ever do that, right? So, or they could go, oh, I want to get smash hit value. They never do, right? It's always got to be dramaturgy, lithe, sprint burst, usually sprint burst with vigil, ghost notes, and stuff like that. I mean, this is within the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding right there. Here's a good one. Entitled survivors are toxic as hell. Doesn't matter what you do or how you play, they can and will complain over anything and everything you can think of. Too many I see refuse to try to improve, instead they give up and complain. Very true. I'll gladly be tunneled myself every game, as it will improve my looping and running skills. If I die, don't care, next game. This is the same perspective I have. Because when you're playing Survivor, like even recently with the 2v8, I'm like, dude, I'm not really doing anything besides sitting there on the gen, and I run around a little bit, back on the gen, and then rinse repeat. I get chased for 10 seconds, and then because, you know, he can't really stay in the chase, he's got to leave because that's just, you know, effective. Like I don't get anything for that. I'm like, okay, congratulations, back to gen. Like it's super freaking boring. Like I really don't want to play that. Like it's boring as hell. Like I'd rather be on killer, so I'm more engaged with the match. So yeah. Too many pallets. Yep. Gens fly. Nothing I can do to prevent it. It's so true. I mean, I've even conducted tests even before these recent patches, like by running quad slowdown and zero slowdown on the same killer back-to-back matches. I've conducted on stream, and the matches were exactly the same amount of time. Like the gen's slowdown did absolutely nothing to the gen speed. It did nothing. And the problem is that like the slowdown is just better on the higher tiers. It just is, because it requires you to get it down very quickly for the slowdown to make an impact. But if you're so slow and terrible to get downs with, like Ghostface, Skull Merchant, Trapper, you know what I mean, Pig, like it's gonna be disgustingly difficult to try to actually get value from that slowdown, because you're just getting what 10 seconds, 20 seconds off of a gen that gets instantaneously repaired. It's not worth it. And Grim Embrace is another good example. 10 seconds of slowdown is worthless. You don't notice it. It's not useful unless you're a high mobility killer where that slowdown can make a difference. And of course, the hand-holding buffs for survivors that want to rush their objective, but killers get nothing. Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much where we're at here. There it is right here. Another one says, I was trying to play a bit of wolf-only Dracula for funsies, but double nerfing the dog, base, and add-on convinced me to wait that were supposed to come out. I get Dracula's top tier, but I've seen zero people use dog add-ons. It's so true. I mean, and then because going on massive L streaks, because I only match 120 PC FPS PC survivors are on every possible second chance, have perfect map knowledge, game sense, never pathing mistake, and a psychic with flawless reactions to every mind game, is rage inducing. I rarely match anyone that isn't a god at DBD. Which, you know, on one hand you could say like you also need to improve at the game. That is a thing, but if they are playing on console, there is two paths to take. You either can invest in a mouse and keyboard, and because it is available on consoles now, and they are within budget nowadays. You could either do that, or you have to try to like work past, which is kind of hard, to use the controller, and it's a little difficult. I have to admit, it's very difficult. So yeah, I mean, I get it. Now, this person, I'm like, I don't really agree with this. For players who, like you, who lack challenges, already DBD League, or like stuff, you find yourself entertained or end up entertaining somebody else. Because, like, even by saying that there is, like, no reward for improving, I'm even further doubling down that this is completely untrue. You know what I mean? Like, if you are dedicated to improving at your character, you will see the difference. You will see things that happen. Because the thing is that I understand that as much as I can make videos talking about how bad the game is, and understanding that the struggle of playing a low tier killer, and understanding that the game is not in a great state, I am also self-aware enough to understand that it still can feed into people's coping mechanisms to try to justify why they will never try to improve themselves. And with that being stated, I'm also the same person that has dedicated like a couple hundreds of not thousands of hours of trying to improve at my characters, and to this point. And even so, I do notice a difference. Like, of course, if I'm playing the best of my ability, I think it's more than justified that I'm gonna, like, I can crash out, because I'm like, hey, I put in my time, I put in my hours, and I've gotten as good as I can, and I'm still not seeing like the greatest amount of results. Then I would say justifiably I can crash out. But when it comes down to people that do not have enough time in their characters, or not dedicating the amount of time that they need to do, and still crashing out about it, is where I have to draw the line. Like, that's just not justified. That's not accurate. You have to at least understand if you are making mistakes before you can start to immediately blame the game or other people for your blunders. However, let's continue. So the way I see it, many people may uninstall the game because of match quality, inconsistency, and drastic balance changes, reworks that devs tend to do, which is true. Simply speaking, it's no fun when one game you get 4K with no gens being done, other game you get a 4 out with barely any hooks made. Which I see this a lot as well, like especially lately. Like, it's impossible. Like with the like massive maps I've been getting alongside with the killer I just am using is just not the strongest character. Like, it's very hard to even get more than a few hooks with the gen speed being so crazy. And they can you know, and I've tried to pressure the map as the best that I can, but like if you're playing Chucky, he's a 110 killer, so it's not like you're gonna be able to like fly across the map and be able to immediately get into a new chase. Like you're just not simply gonna be able to do that. So that's what the other reason when a killer gets gutted one way or the other, some lose motivation to play because they're no longer dedicating their time learning and improving a certain character. At any point in their experience or knowledge can be invalidated due to mechanics being either removed or altered into a less effective form. Now this I agree with. I agree with that 100%. I 100% agree with that. That is extremely accurate. That is extremely accurate because that happened to me when I was trying to learn Blight. That happened to me when I was trying to learn Dracula. That happened to me when I was trying to use machine learning at one point. Then it got nerfed. Like that happened to me when I mean, like that happened a few times. I think like I think even Singularity I had something similar. So they say I did dabble in competitive DBD, but I'm not sure if there's any surviving footage. I was there. If you only like the killer because they were strong or problematic, I enjoyed playing OG Legion. When I said it got changed, was set up. I got done for 3 years. So it was massively problematic, and it did get changed drastically. Very true. Oh, this is another good point here that we don't hear a lot about, is the fact that somebody who's playing the game will have hearing and vision issues, and this game has a lack of accessibility for those people. That it's another part that really does not help a lot of people as well. So it's very true. Oh, I feel like this one's going to be really good. It's got percentages in it. The DBD is supposedly an asymmetrical horror game, as we know. It's supposed to be power-sided towards the killer. Thank you. I made a video about this a couple months ago. Killer is supposed to be powerful, and yet we feel like we're a bunch of party clowns just standing there for fun because we're not actually being killers. Or we're not actually being powerful. We have superpowers that mean absolutely nothing to man holding lunchbox, to girl, to lady holding fucking flashlight. Like, why are we losing to that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. We should be able to feel like we're powerful. Like, what the heck? And I'm not saying free wins because you know that people like to make up those points. That's not what I'm stating here. I'm being overly is the word facetious? I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to make some jokes here. But I'm not directly saying like that's the statement I'm trying to go with here, if that makes sense. We're just making some jokes. Point is, not a lot, like 60 to 40 makes sense. This is the genre DBD belongs to. Remember the other games in the same genre that got nerfed into oblivion for the killer aspects, such as Killer Clowns, Evil Dead, v.h.s.x. If you guys are from Video Horror Society, that's another game that had also died for the same reason. The devs catered to the non-killer side and made the killers in their case a joke and unplayable. There are videos online I saw on YouTube that show the clowns match where clowns players are getting what could basically be called a digital swirly by non-killer players. This is what I've been saying. This is exactly what I've been saying. Like we break it down exactly with this because yeah, exactly. DBD is following the same path towards its own demise. Devs that say themselves they are survivor remains and some that don't even play DBD. That's exactly the problem. The devs are for some reason so obsessed with the survivor side and only play survivor side. There's for some reason no killer players on the dev team. So they only just keep buffing and buffing and buffing survivor, giving killer absolutely nothing for no reason. Like, I don't understand why there's no balance in the balancing. Like, you should be able to go, all right, let's try one change on survivor, let's try one change on killer, collect the data and take our time to kind of try and ease in these things so that we don't completely destroy the game as a whole. But they don't do that. Oh, some of you guys may remember years back when Behavior Dev was being interviewed by a Korean gaming outlet and was challenged to a match by 4 guys who played as a regular Swift team. This is when the flashlights had the insta blind with the iridescent bulb add-ons, which used to instantly blind the killer, and all 4 players had it. They bullied the dev playing killer so badly when he left, they fully retuned and nerfed the flashlight setup almost immediately. The worst part about this was, it wasn't like the community at the time had been quiet about this problem, quite the opposite, but it went largely unheard until it happened to Behavior Dev. Sadly, it seems these devs haven't learned and are still following the blind eye mentality, and if it continues along this path, the DBD will join Evil Dead and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I 100% agree with this statement. I've been trying to cover this point time and time and time again. I've been trying to like say it in almost every video because this is the direction that it's going. This is the direction that they're trying to basically set it off to, and that's not good. Like, this is not what we should be seeing. This is not a good thing. This is terrible. Like, this is not a good thing. It's like, what the heck are we talking about, man? Here's another one. I stopped playing killer due to multiple reasons. Most of the killers I normally play are always bugged. Behavior takes so long to fix it. Palette density, survivor toxicity, survivors getting base kit perks, having to use the same 4 to 6 perks to keep the game going long enough to get a few kills. Even with gen defense, the gens are too fast. Sounds in game. You have to play spirit on lower FPS to hear properly. Playing killers like Ghoul and Crossu get you insulted. Windows of opportunity every game. Killers are punished for playing certain ways. So many reasons. So true. So true. It's so true, man. Unintentional nerfs so nobody plays it being a thing and behavior is uninstall worthy. Like, if complaints are too much, the devs will nerf everything on the killer. It's so true, dude. Interesting. In short, DBD does not respect your time. Q 10 minutes as a killer, you either get under a 5-minute gen rush squad or people who instantly DC. DBD is not worth playing anymore. Then you play some survivor and escape the majority of your matches until they hit the mark where you only see blights and ghouls. Game gets stale as hell. And you got the one bozo that says define echo chamber. Like, what are you talking about, brother? Like, what are you talking about, brother? Brother, what are you talking about? When I started playing on August of 2023, I made killer. It was months before I played survivor on a daily basis. Everything was great. It was having fun to the role. The Houndmaster came out, and I don't know, it just got unfun. Every patch from doomed courses left me feeling less and less thrilled to play. It started feeling like a stressful chore, with 4 people poking me with a stick and laughing at me. Now that with gen speeds and all these freaking planks, so whatever, the role is pretty much dead to me. I don't feel satisfied winning, and I don't feel satisfied losing. I'm tired, man. I feel that too. I feel that too. Somebody saying that they are considering it is saying that they feel as if low tiers are more stressful to play due to recent changes and upcoming changes. I love playing Sadako, even the current one, but the sheer amount of palettes and her power being very easy to deal with combined into a tedium that I can't even keep up with. And now I play more killers just to have an enjoyable time. And this is coming from someone who does play as fair as I can, spreading hooks, not spamming my power, not using the meta, and not tunneling and camping unless there's one gen left or it's endgame. And this is the thing that I was trying to tell you guys in a lot of my videos, is the fact that even players that aren't like myself, that want to play fair, that want to give survivors an experience, that want to play fairly, that want to get be super nice, right, are still suffering through these things. Like, they're still also experiencing how bad the game is. And that's what I'm trying to say, right? Because a lot of the time, like, and it was more common previously. It's like nowadays I feel like everybody who comes around really understands like where I'm coming from. But like the fact of the matter is, I'm playing the game at a very high, like I would consider it like the higher levels, and I'm going against extremely experienced players who understand how to easily counter a lot of stuff. And if I'm saying I'm having these problems and I'm looking around and I'm seeing other people who are not even playing at the same level as me, and I'm seeing the same things that I'm experiencing, that's a problem. Because if the highest level is insane gen speed, full meta on survivor, like swifts and like all these crazy things, and then I'm going around and I'm looking at other players that aren't even there also experiencing super fast gens with swifts and all these other things, it's like, that's a problem. Like that's like there's like a blurred line here that cannot really be explained besides the constant buffing that we've seen on the survivor end, right? Because healing's more efficient, the hook pulling was changed, like they took out the hook grabs, things like that. All these things combined led into the situation where everything is super efficient now. Healing is super efficient, the gens are super efficient, like the saves are super efficient, like everything's efficient. Everything is super efficient. Even chases are super efficient now because you don't even go down anymore when you have a pallet every 2 steps. And here we are. And despite all that, I still get insults and accused of doing things I wasn't anyway, to the point where I just keep my stream profile comments locked to friends only. I just don't want to deal with community toxicity when one game is out of many I play. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This player right here is playing fairly and playing a low tier killer, giving the survivors the most fun, you could say, the most fun it could possibly be, and they still bitch and complain. And that's the part that I find so crazy. That's why I've always stated in my videos, just play how you want, because at the end of the day, they're not going to care about you. They're not going to care about your side. And that's why I've always been very anti-whimsy when it comes down to this game, because the people you encounter do not care about you. They don't know who you are. They don't care about you. They just see a killer on their screen trying to slap them around, and that's all they care about is their own experience. I've said this so many times. They just don't. Like, why should you care about their own fun when they're still going to insult you and accuse you of things you never did? And it even says right here too that this person has advocated for better tutorials, comprehensive guide, perk, buff, debuff explanations, an in-game compendium, and that is always like, that is right there is exactly what I wish we would have had, but we just don't have it. And I have to say, like, it pretty much encapsulates exactly, describes everything that we're talking about here. See, look, another person. My biggest reason for not enjoying killer is frankly all the DCs and self-sacrifices. I try to play fairly and as I can as killer, but surrounding survivors giving up earlier halfway into the match is just getting silly now. Even when going out of my way to make things fair as possible, sometimes I'll still give up and make me feel like my time isn't being respected, so why bother playing matches myself? They really need to rework the tutorial, make it better. I'd even add that they rework the base game survivor perks and something like Deja Vu, where they can help teach good fundamentals to survivors. I disagree with Deja Vu. I think Deja Vu needs a massive nerf. I don't think that you should be having 6% for free and aura on 3 gens. Like, that's crazy. Like, you gotta have one or the other. It can't be both. Like, that's crazy. Especially because it stacks, but it's a whole nother topic. Here, look, there we go again. Feels like pallet standoff simulator. Running from pallet to pallet is way more efficient. So many chases, especially with M1s, always feel the same. Always, also everything, builds and whatever is super optimized on most survivors. There's acid feeling it's always the same, but also frustration. And exactly, it says like, but I feel like with many killers, I had to be prepared to get absolutely rolled. This is exactly my point. This is exactly what I've been talking about. And I want to know what you guys think as well in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree with the points that were being made in the video? Do you agree with people in the forum? And if you want to join in on the conversation in the forum, feel free to go ahead and join in on the conversation. But that was my thoughts on it. I would say that, like, this is something that behavior should be listening to. This is something that behavior should be made aware of. And for some reason, they just don't care. And I don't understand why. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. While you're down there, consider supporting the channel with the links in the description. By joining, like becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube, you can get access to exclusive perks and content. It's all written down there. And you can have your name right off at the end of every video. So see you guys in the next one. Well, I wanted to go ahead and take some time out to thank all my members from Patreon with Crow King 101. My YouTube members, Majora Jeff, Endire, Evil Peachy YT, Zero Mocker, Christian, Hexdev, and Crow Vader. And for my Twitch subscribers, Cake is the Road, Danica 2002, Final Girl _ Bunny, Acklefin, Chili Cinderace, Zero Mocker, Ginsburg, Johns 117 _ Lovely Ghost TTV, Jar TTV, Zazabu, and Crow Vader. Just wanted to thank you guys. And if you also want to have your name read off at the end of every video, make sure you join on one of these platforms to get one of those perks as well as the other perks you get. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.